you live ECU?
R.
Do you bleed purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
One day out from East Carolina hosting Charlotte in an American Conference game. It's homecoming. It's an in-state matchup in the American Conference, one of the few in the league, especially outside of the state of Texas. We'll preview that and much more over the course of the next hour. We've got our friend Bobby Harward in studio. We've got Philip Hilkinen producing as well. It's a Football Friday. My NFL team has already played in the ugliest game imaginable. Denver Broncos win. They have the best record in the NFL, so it's a weird feeling Friday for me. Like, I feel good about the record, but not so much about the team right now. But can't complain too much. Bobby Harward, we'll see how his Commanders look their next time out. How you doing, Bobby?
Not hopeful about my Commanders. I think I'm glad for the success of the Broncos, and I am still excited. For those who don't know, we're going to the Sunday night bout.
We almost bowed out after
did.
Jaden Daniels' injury.
Yeah, I had a little emotional breakdown after the injury, and didn't know if I wanted to make the trip anymore. But you know what? Wanted to be a team player. I told Steven probably at that point in time I'm maybe cheering for the Broncos just for a higher draft pick. But, excited for the Pirate Weekend. I think I may take my kids out to the Purple Gold World Series this afternoon. We're going to do the homecoming parade tomorrow morning, tailgate, and then football game. And then maybe I turn on the basketball game tomorrow night once we get back. If we get back in time, we'll see.
Yeah, we talked a little bit of basketball pre-show. No line yet for ECU Richmond. If we have time, we'll get your take on the opener and all that. Philip Hilkinen, behind the glass. Philip, are you ready for another good sports weekend?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm pumped. I wouldn't say it started good last night. I was happy Denver won.
It just started.
The ugliest college football game or NFL football game I've ever watched. And for the Pirates, it didn't start great because the Bulls of UTSA, or of USF, were playing UTSA and had a 14-0 lead before their freaking offense even got on the field. What are you doing, Owen McCown? It was his worst performance ever.
Nothing like throwing a pick six on the first play of the game and then going 90, or not 99 yards, but they got down to the one and had a scoop and score. And Bobby and I were watching the Jeff Traylor press conference after the game, UTSA head coach. He spent all week talking about how many resources USF has. And look, they do. I was actually, ironically enough, hanging out with Will Turner in Philly. He helped us out on game day for HoistTheColors.net. He was a part of the USF collective until recently, and he was talking about how much money they've invested and spent, and it's got to be the most in the American. But that said, UTSA, he spent all week talking about how much of a talent disadvantage they were at. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm fine mentioning it, Bobby. We were talking about too. Like, but when it becomes the story, you're almost telling your team that, like, we don't have a shot.
Yeah, I'm okay mentioning it, like preseason, spring practice, whatever. But when you're mentioning it, one, the week of a game, but also kind of using it as an excuse, that to me, what we just listened to and the way he explain things post-game, that is how you lose the locker room, which for our sake, I hope that's the case when we go into San Antonio. But to me, it seems like we discussed this too. It seems like he's trying to set himself up with an excuse so he can take another job that maybe is a little bit higher than UTSA.
Yeah, and no doubt. And again, they still they're terrible on the road. Like, I mean, they're awful on the road. We talked about that yesterday. That held up. So I didn't expect any help from UTSA, but definitely did not get off to a great start. Key game tonight, Tulane is at Memphis. We'll pick that. I mean, we were kind of going over the scenarios with Hank Hinton in a chat last night. And he was like, man, Memphis has to win. I'm not going to say they have to win, but like if Tulane wins, it does look a lot harder for ECU, even if they run the table to make the title game. So this is important to watch tonight. 9 o'clock kickoff, so maybe a late night if you're trying to watch it.
I am going to try to watch because I think, one, it allows me to knock out two birds
Yeah.
with one stone. I get to enjoy the game, but I also normally I watch the game before for our weekly breakdown that we do here, and get to do that. I think it's going to be a pretty solid football game. Still unsure. I was trying to do some research whether Lewis is playing or not. Still uncertain. If I was a betting man, I'd imagine he's going. This is too big
think
of a
unless he
football
can't
game.
stand up, I think he's playing. So ECU Charlotte is the game that we will get to watch tomorrow inside Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. Pirates are at last check 29-point favorites, something around 4 touchdowns, maybe 28.5. Now you have dove into Charlotte. I almost pulled last year's Charlotte pregame just because I feel like the conversation is going to be similar and we all look stupid. But I still believe this year's version of Charlotte and this year's version of ECU are night and day different. And if ECU executes on Saturday, they should win comfortably. Now, if they go out there, turn the ball over, make mistakes, like it's college football, anything can happen. But I know you watched the tape. What did you see from Charlotte?
Yeah, I guaranteed 2 years in a row a pretty large ECU Pirate victory. In 2 years in a row, I was really incorrect on that. Now, I was right in saying if we lose each of those games, there's going to be firings that occur afterwards, and that happened both years, which you hate to see. But, to me, this Charlotte team is way worse than what we've seen on tape the last 2 years. I think under Biff Poggi, or Poggi, however you pronounce his last name, at least he was able to recruit some high-level athletes.
Had some guys, some dudes.
And so it looked that way on tape. And I mentioned this on Hoist the Colors this morning in one of the comments below that article. I didn't mention it in the article, but to me, roster-wise, they look like a low-level CUSA team or an FCS team. And I think you made the point that would line up with how the line is set by Vegas because it's very similar to what it was against Campbell.
Yep.
And, that I know they've been hit with injuries pretty hard. They lost their starting running back. They lost their starting quarterback to start the year. I think they're down 2, maybe 3 linemen. So especially offensively, they've been really hit. But just defensively, athletically, they're not there. They're blitzing a lot.
They are blitzing a lot. I watched the North Texas highlights. They blitz almost every – and I looked at the stats, 48% blitz rate in that game.
Yeah, it's almost like – and it's not just a single-edge pressure rolling fire zone blitz where there's – it's 6-man pressure. They're playing man coverage behind it. And I don't know if they're just trying to get lucky or what, but what happens there, and they're just getting gashed because when you do those type of blitzes, the offensive or the defensive line, has to cross the offensive line's face to get in another gap that they're not necessarily maybe pre-lined up in. And they're not athletic enough or talented enough to be able to get cross face. So then you end up with 2 guys in one gap, which is not good for anybody. And that's where you see the big plays.
A lot too, like North Texas would throw a short play, break a tackle, 50-yard gain. I mean, It was that simple. Obviously, no safety help in many of those plays. But I am interested. Do they? I find it hard to believe you give up 608 yards passing and you take that same approach after a bye into ECU, which is similar in some regards. But I don't know. I mean, I am interested because they have the bye. I'm sure they'll make some changes. And I do think their quarterback, Loftus, like if he has time, he actually makes some good throws. He's a good passer, and he does make some mistakes as well. But I'm impressed with their receivers and also their quarterback. The problem is they just don't really have a lot of time to operate from what I saw.
Yeah, the offensive line is the issue there. They're not very athletic. They're just kind of big and slow. And, to your point, Loftus, a pretty good passer of the football. He started some games at Duke last year when Riley Leonard was hurt, so he's talented enough. Javon Nichols, to me, is the guy at receiver. He's the one. He went off, I believe, against North Texas because he's pretty much single-handedly who kept them in that game.
They were trying
to
play man coverage and could not keep up with him.
Yeah, so he's going to be a guy that they have to, zero in on. And, I wonder if this week, because of some of the less talent outside, maybe we play a little bit more cover one and have that safety cheat over on top of Nichols, run some blitzes and that sort of thing. But to me, defensively, feel pretty good how we line up against them, especially in the run game. Again, up front, they really struggle. Loftus is not a guy you have to worry about escaping the pocket and making a big play with his legs. So you don't have to – I mean, pass rush lanes are always important, but they're not as important as maybe when we played Retzloff or somebody at Tulane.
All right, some comments here. Corsair says Logan said last night, the Logan Zone, check it out. You listened to it. I didn't get to hear Logan, so what are your comments on if ECU's up? When do they take out? If they're lucky enough to be in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not doing it in the first quarter or something. That's when we hope to be up 21-0. But I do think sometimes coaches, in my opinion, are a little late on getting the starters out of a game. And I understand you don't want to blow a game, but I do think that this East Carolina team has proven that the twos can go out there and play competent football. They played almost the entire fourth quarter against Campbell, saw some action against Coastal, and saw some action last week against Temple. I think they trust them. And at this point, I think if you're going in the fourth quarter, you're up 3 or 4 scores. I'm not saying you go out there and you throw out Chasten Didda and a bunch of true freshmen and walk-ons, but no reason not to put Mike Wright and just some other guys in the game. Because at the end of the day, look, football plays happen. Guys can get hurt. Ask Bobby Harward. His whole roster's hurt for his favorite NFL team. Sorry, Bobby.
I thought you were about to say Bobby's hurt. I'm like,
no.
I don't know what injury he's dealing with.
But also, rivalry game, a team's frustrated. You have a much higher opportunity to have a cheap shot happen. Okay, cheap shots don't happen in a game where a team isn't ticked off. They're down by 4 scores. They've won one freaking game all year. It was 7 points against Monmouth. They might take a cheap shot. Yeah, it might be live ball, it might be dead ball, who knows, but you've got to protect your players. You cannot have anybody injured between now and next Saturday.
Bobby, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think to me, what point in the game are you up 21 if you're going to pull them? To me,
fourth quarter maybe?
Yeah, 21 is still tight enough. I mean, you throw a pick six with your backup quarterback, that's still – yeah, exactly. So, if we're fourth quarter up 21, I agree 100%. If you're, it's a second quarter, you ride them out probably at least halfway through the third, depending how much that lead stretches. But I'm with you. You definitely don't want to take a chance with injuries if you're up 4 or 5 scores there in the second half. But to me, the starters are at least playing the whole first half.
All right, Kenny Curlin's in the chat. He says Bobby legs high on those steps tomorrow. He'll be watching, so he doesn't want you to fall.
I appreciate it. I'm actually going to be sitting in another section, so I can fall in front of that section.
Just make your way around every section.
Yeah,
every side.
Embarrass myself the whole time. Yeah.
Rohan wants to know how big of an NIL gap are we talking about? Where do we rank? So I was just texting a source, and USF don't know the exact number, but spent probably in the 8 to 10 million range on their roster, which I will say is a lot more than East Carolina and a lot more than most teams in the American. So, look, I mean, Jeff Traylor had a reason for his comments, and they're valid, but I also think once you get to this point in the year, man, you just go play football. You can't make it about money, and I get he's trying to fundraise for December, which is when you do need funds for the portal, or I guess January now, but USF probably in Memphis are spending the most in this league. Tulane is up there as well. But then you look at it, Tulane just got smacked by UTSA, so it doesn't mean you can't win just because you're spending less money. I mean, think about all the money wasted in sports every single year on dumb contracts. That happens in college football too. So
yeah, that was just ask NC State last year with Grayson McCall. You still, and Florida State, prime example. You got to spend money the right way.
No doubts. All right, I guess we'll go ahead and get a break in, so we got plenty of time. We'll diagnose further the Charlotte-ECU game as we make our picks. Can ECU cover the spread? We'll do that and more on the other side.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arg!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Allen, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
The Pirates play here.
Time to play the game!
This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Back in second segment here. Speaking of this song, Triple H theme song, did any of y'all see the Mike Wright video on social media this week? This guy's a character, man. He comes out. This is when he was at Mississippi State, but he posted on another podcast that he's going to do the Degeneration X celebration, which I can't do on the air for obvious reasons if you follow wrestling. But he did the Triple H intro at Mississippi State, and he like spits water out and like flexing and diving on the ground in the Mississippi State locker room. It's hilarious. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out.
I mean, he can't do that in a game, right? Because he'll get flagged.
He basically said the score has to be what it is.
Wow.
So,
I guess he's going to take his discipline.
Course, yeah, he's got to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
What does the score have to be? And this will lead me to John Moody's point because I think it's a valid one. I'll bring it up in a minute. Like I'm thinking like at least 42. You got to be up 42 to hit the crotch chop. I mean, I think if you do that, like you're getting the automatic. You're getting automatic. You might get ejected. Honestly.
Wow, I was going to say, you hope you don't get ejected and are suspended for the Memphis game. That's what you got to watch out for.
So maybe not. But
yeah, you know, or at least just don't do it when it's like a 1-score game. Rico Dowdle, out here getting penalties.
Hey, he only did 2 pumps.
Dude, he even said that too. So there was only 2. It's like, dude, that was a Key and Bill skit. It's not a real thing. Because it is written in the NFL rulebook now. Now, they allow props and all this craziness now. It is still written in the NFL rulebook. It is deemed vulgar, violent, or sexual. That it is.
When did they add this? Because Von Miller used to do it and get away with it.
Yeah, so it was when they kind of let it, when Von Miller was doing it, the touchdown celebration could be nothing but spiking the ball. Yeah. And then when they started letting them celebrate again, they had to that's when they're like, okay, but we still can't like you can't pretend to be firing a gun. I wonder if you can sword fight. I wonder if that's considered violence.
I feel like that would be a fair game. I mean,
I think it would be. I mean, yeah, but I mean, that's the point though. How's that any different than shooting somebody?
I was going to say
slicing somebody and shooting somebody, but you know how the NFL is.
But it's violent. But yeah, I guess maybe their argument will be people aren't walking around with swords and just pulling them out of their...
Go to London, you get stabbed. Go on a train in Charlotte, you get stabbed.
But there's a sword and a knife,
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby brought to you by Sub Dogs today. Make sure to check them out, 213 East 5th Street, downtown Greenville. You guys know the deal. Best bar winner by Barstool Sports multiple time. Across the street is Crush Vodka. Check them out. They do so much for ECU athletics. Make sure to give them their love in return. All right. Robert says Mike Wright has a deal with Blake. If they're up 28, he can celebrate. So keep your eye on that. John Moody says, let's just go on and say it. This game is going to be surprisingly close, isn't it? It shouldn't be, but with all the blowout talk this week, I feel like we are set up for a close game. Most of us have watched way too many power football games to know we usually don't blow out conference teams. I hope I'm wrong Saturday, but I don't think we have. He says, I do think we have a ball game. Excuse me. So, I mean, look, I understand you know why you feel that way, John. I would say I think if ECU plays to its potential, this game will not be close, but there's been games this year ECU has not played to its potential, and I think a lot of it depends on the start of the game. Like, if ECU just comes out, doesn't make mistakes, gets up on top by a couple scores, I don't think Charlotte's going to put up much of a fight. But, like, it is a rivalry game for them and for ECU, I guess, and, like, this is their chance to, hey, if you beat ECU, you're not going to a bowl game, this would salvage your season in some way. So I expect Charlotte's best effort here. And if they get off to a good start, it wouldn't surprise me. But I think if ECU starts fast, it could snowball quickly.
Your perspective of the start on being so important, I think, is 100% correct. The last thing you do is want a team less talented than you feeling like they have a chance. One thing I didn't mention in the breakdowns but saw, they faked 2 punts, one against North Texas, one against Temple the week before. So if they are, within reason, a close game, that's another thing to look out for. And then special teams create momentum plays more than any other side of the football. But, John, I'll say this. Now, I've been wrong the last 2 years about this game. I'm prefacing there. But I thought the exact same thing until I watched them play. And granted, they were close against North Texas. I mean, it was like they were up on North Texas in the third quarter, and then you could just see how quickly they can unravel there because that became a 30-something point game. But to me, this is just not the same team as the last 2 years.
I think I get where they're coming from, and I think had we not lost each of the last 2 years, I would feel, even with how bad they are, I'd feel like maybe it is a little bit more of a trap game. But I think our just locker room knows, like, we've lost these turds the last 2 years. Like, we just got to put it on them.
Let's pick it. ECU. When I sent the line over last night, it was at 28.5. Over 4 touchdowns. Right on that Mike Wright celebration line, according to a poster. Look, the Charlotte team total set at 14. I think they get 10, maybe 14. I worry about a backdoor cover a little bit, but I'm going to go with ECU. I think they get off to a good start. I think they win the game 49-10. 49-10. That would be 39 points. All right, Bobby.
Yeah, 39 points. You're correct.
I struggle with math. I wanted to go 60-plus, but
yeah,
it's just hard to predict that many points. Phillip might.
Well, and Blake's a defensive guy. He's going to respect the other side, the coaching staff, all that sort of thing. He's not worried about putting up as much points as possible as maybe if an offensive coordinator was a head coach. I put a bet in earlier in the week, an alt line of 30.5, so I could get plus odds, and so I'm going Pirates.
All right. 56-10, baby. Pirates cover. Easy.
We have another comment from John Moody that says the 28.5 points is the largest spread in the American since Houston was a 32-point favorite at UConn in 2021. Houston won that game 45-17, so they did not cover. But that was on the road. So just wanted to
I forgot
UConn. Johnny stats.
Yeah.
I forgot UConn was in our conference until seeing some of the highlights they've put out recently with the Hall of Fame stuff, and I forget they were, in the American.
The only reason I even remember it is because I remember watching Gino Auriemma coaching Menzies.
We've got Kenneth projecting 56-7 East Carolina. He says, I'm certain the 0-2 record against Charlotte has been hammered all week by Coach Harrell. Pirates will be focused on revenge. Yeah, the only thing I worry about is them wanting it too much and trying to just come out and play out of their minds. So as long as they play their game, I think they roll. Also, Kenny says 56-0. Look, Kenny, he's got some aggressive predictions, but he was right last week. What did he say, like 49-17 against Temple? 44-17?
Something like that, yeah.
So he was right. That was Johnny Stats, not John Moody. With that, I meant to say Johnny Stats. John Moody says, don't want to take credit for that. So, and Joel Hancock says, in its history, Charlotte has won a grand total of 6 games versus FBS opponents who have finished with a winning record, including 2024 East Carolina. All others were Conference USA opponents. That was a Johnny Stats type stat from Joel Hancock.
That was
Joel Hancock. So
a lot of J's in the comments.
Yeah, a lot
section.
of J's, a lot of J. With the start of all their names. And Logan says, we've blown out conference teams all year. Let's just see what happens. And Rohan's got a question about Jay Shane Woodard injury report. No word yet, Rohan. We didn't have media availability for basketball before they hit the road to Richmond. So, no, I don't think it's great. I don't expect him to play Saturday, so that's my hunch on it, but I don't have any official word.
I respect it, Rohan. We're here talking about in-state football game, and you're.
He wants to know that basketball injury report.
I respect it.
I tell you what, let's go and get our break in, and then we'll pick the rest of the college games. How do we feel about that? That way we can space it out a little bit, and we'll get college next, and then NFL in our final segment, and we'll do it that way. This is Hoist the Colors on a Football Friday.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown. At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Get ready to board.
We're live with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Now, back to Hoist the Colors.
All right, welcome back in on this edition of HTC. Let's make some picks. We were trying to look up who ECU's running backs coach was when TJ Engelman was recruited. I think it may have been Boyette. Yeah.
23, and then 24.
Then they went to JDB staff. So,
Yeah,
it would have been Boyette who originally committed him. All right. That's the type of stuff we talk about during the commercial breaks. Who recruited who?
Sickos.
Sickos is what we do and who we are. Sub Dogs bringing you the sicko Bobby Harward today on this Football Friday show. Hunter Corbett says Rohan is so confident that we'll beat Charlotte that he is way more focused on ECU basketball.
I love it.
Rohan. By the way, Pirates can get bowl eligible tomorrow, guys.
It's awesome.
It's always hilarious, not hilarious, but crazy. When that's your main goal as a program, we make such a big deal about it, and now it's just kind of all right, you're going to be bowl eligible to win. That's cool, but not the main goal. So, chance to notch a big victory tomorrow. Let's pick another game in the American Conference. Tulane is at Memphis tonight, 9 o'clock kickoff. Memphis is a 3.5-point favorite. The line was bigger to start the week. There are some questions about quarterback Brendan Lewis. We can once again make a pick based upon his availability because I know if he's not going to play, I'm going to take Tulane. And I'm kind of tempted to take Tulane either way. I don't know. I just have a feeling. They played terrible. I'm really torn on this game. Does somebody else want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm taking the Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I will put the asterisk by it if Lewis plays or not. I'm standing by, going back to when we played them. I don't know how good Tulane is.
Yeah.
I don't think they're very good. I think Memphis is a much more talented football team. So give me the Tigers.
This is tough. Both of them very recently were humbled.
Yes.
Tulane last week at UTSA and Memphis a couple weeks ago at UAB. With that being said, Memphis I don't think is great, but I still think they're better than Tulane. But I'm going to do it with Bobby. I'm taking Memphis as long as he plays. If he doesn't, I'll take Tulane.
I'm going to follow my own advice here. I did say the one thing I trust in this game is that Memphis will score. Their offense, they've scored every game this year except for when Brendan Lewis was out. So if Brendan Lewis plays, I'm taking Memphis, and I'm just going to take the 3.5 points as well that they cover, and I'll lay the points with Memphis. I do think Tulane, you're going to get a good Tulane showing here, but I'm with you. Memphis has a ton to play for as well, and if they play, I just don't know if Tulane can keep up if Lewis is healthy. So they're typically very good at home under Silverfield. If this was on the road, I'd take the Green Wave, but I'm going to roll with the Tigers. It does the hook does scare me. I could see Memphis winning by 3, but I'll take Memphis. All right, BYU, Texas Tech. Top 10 Big 12 matchup. BYU unbeaten, and they're double-digit dogs, 10.5 going to Texas Tech. And I fell for the 10-point number multiple times last week. I was on Wake Forest in another in a bet to cover 10 at Florida State. They got crushed. We were all on Cincinnati, and that turned out bad. I'm gonna take.
Some of y'all were.
You were on Utah?
Yeah.
Me and Bobby. This table, we were all on Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Texas Tech to cover 10.5. I think BYU. There's a formula they win this game. There's also a formula they get blown out, and I'm gonna go with the latter.
This is one of the best offenses in the country versus one of the best defenses in the country. To me, defenses normally win this matchup. I'd feel a lot better if it was not in Lubbock, but I'm still taking the Cougars. I think the last time that Texas Tech played a good defense, granted it was on the road at Arizona State, they only put up 22 points. Give me the Cougars.
This line's fishy. Now, I do want to remind you in that game, Bobby, the starting quarterback was out for the Red Raiders. The offense finally came alive there in the second half, or in the fourth quarter, really. This is a fishy line, right? 2 top 10 teams, yeah, it should be a double-digit point thing. And I think, or it should never not be double digits. And everybody is going to hammer BYU to keep this within 10 points. But Vegas has all them hotels for a reason, baby. Everybody's going to pick the Cougars, so I'm going with Texas Tech.
The Red Raiders, they need the win to to make the Big 12 title game, whereas BYU, they could theoretically lose and still make it. Texas A&M, the college slate isn't great this week, so these games aren't the best, but I picked them because I just picked them. Texas A&M is a 6.5-point favorite at Missouri. I think both these teams are off a bye. Missouri's starting quarterback is out, and the line is 6.5 in favor of A&M. I just feel like A&M is due to lose a game. But they're not going to run the table. I just don't know if Missouri has it in them.
I'll be honest. I was going to pick Missouri until you just said their starting quarterback.
I was
out.
too.
So give me the Aggies.
Pribula is out. I have heard, though, the guy they're starting is supposed to be a better all-around quarterback. Pribula is more of a runner. So maybe that first game starting. I picked Missouri first quarter money line. So I think you're going to come out doing like some.
Dude, Mike Elko is a different defensive mind. Yeah. I'd be careful.
I'm rolling with it. I only put $5 on it. So. I'm going A&M here, though.
Yeah, this one, Missouri's really impressed me this year. And like, Bobby was saying before Steven brought up the fact their quarterback's out, I was thinking Missouri could keep this within one score. I just, A&M doesn't have the highest powered offense in the country, but they are going to score. You wonder with a backup quarterback if they can keep up. So I'm going to go Texas A&M here. I trust Mike Elko.
You going A&M too?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Matt Zoller is a true freshman, first starting quarterback for Missouri as a freshman since Drew Lock in 2015. So we'll see how he turns out. Golf-loving, gunslinging true freshman, Matt Zollers. I'm pretty sure ECU recruited him some. Either way, he's starting for the Missouri Tigers. Next pick is Oregon at Iowa. Oregon's also a 6.5-point favorite. They're number 9 in the CFP rankings. Iowa, if they get a win here, could be a college football playoff factor as well. There's some weather. When y'all talk about this game, I'll look up some weather here. How y'all feeling about this?
Yeah, I'm going to go Hawkeyes. I think that defense is legit. Oregon's offense has had some kinks in it. I think the Hawkeyes get it. I'm going to say they win outright. Obviously, for this, I'm going to say Iowa covers, which kind of side note as I'm buying time for you here. If Iowa wins, that sets up for a big matchup at the Coliseum next week against USC, and that is probably your college game day location based upon y'all's conversation earlier this week.
You don't think they're coming to Memphis ECU?
Dude, there's even probably a better game in the American if Navy makes it close with Notre Dame. South Florida's at Navy, and then you got the coolness of Annapolis and that campus and stuff like that. I could see game day wanting to set up there.
All right, the weather report. 43 degrees, rainy, 98% chance of rain, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. So temps in the 40s, high 30s with rain. Oregon at Iowa. Thoughts, Phillip?
That's tough. That sounds like a low-scoring, knockdown, drag-out game where Iowa keeps it within a score.
40, I think.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, low score, knockdown, drag out. Everybody's going to think Iowa's going to keep it within a score. So I'm going to pick with Vegas. Vegas always wins. Give me Oregon.
Oregon, they played in a rain game a few weeks ago against Wisconsin, won 21-7.
Ducks are supposed to be good in the rain.
And that was at home.
Yeah.
Against a terrible Wisconsin team.
You look at their schedule, they beat Penn State, but Penn State has turned out to be awful. I don't know, man. I'm torn in this game. Just give me Oregon.
If this helps,
go for it.
Indiana, legit offense. It was Iowa lost that game by 5 points. They only gave up 20 points to Indiana.
I'm just at the point where I'm not going to take Iowa football seriously until they go out and win a game like this.
Okay, fair.
Give me the Ducks. I don't feel great about it, but I'm kind of with Phillip here.
Can't wait to get that text from y'all.
Florida State is at Clemson. This is our final college pick. This is honestly a disgusting game, but it's on the list because it's fascinating to me. Clemson's favored by 1.5. I think has it been since like October of last year since they won a home game? Is that maybe a home conference game?
I think so, yeah.
Because they beat Troy, I guess, earlier this year. 1.5 is the line. Florida State, Clemson. Who wants to start this baby off?
I got a question for Philip, do you think this makes an ACC homer? I mean, we're picking a 2-4 conference game versus a 1-4 conference.
Do you want to pick
game.
UNC Stanford instead?
No.
Yes, it makes him an 8. You know, it was weird. He used to be a Coach Prime homer. I don't think we've picked a CU game all year.
Completely irrelevant now, and he's about to retire.
He was irrelevant the first year, and we had to pick him every time. And, yes, you've officially become an ACC homer. He's a fake ECU fan. He's actually an ACC fan.
I actually have an ACC sticker on my computer like Darren bought.
Yes, he does. He just has it on the inside so people can't see. And, you know, I have a question for you guys both, too. Does a losing coach get fired?
I don't think Dabo gets fired.
I don't think he does either.
I think that buyout is like $50 million, and Clemson doesn't have that sort of money, I don't think. But I think if Florida State loses, I think Norvell does.
Yeah, I do too. I think Norvell does get fired.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Tigers. Go Tigers. Clemson.
I'm with you. I'm taking Clemson too. Clemson's issues all year has been their defense. Malzahn for Florida State, the offensive coordinator, probably have some stuff drawn out early, but as the game gets settled in, give me the Tigers.
Is Cade Klubnik, is he like back playing? I haven't paid any attention to Clemson lately. It says Clemson's Cade Klubnik is back.
Yeah, but the offense looked good last week.
Yeah, he played against Duke. Okay, so he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is, I mean, it's a probably bigger picture question, but what does Dabo do next? I mean, is he going to fire Garrett Riley?
I think he fires the defensive coordinator.
DC?
Yeah, the offense hasn't really been the issue. They've had some slow starts, but they end up getting their yardage and their points. I think the biggest issue, what I've seen from him and his frustration in press conferences, is the defense.
You know what he does? He okay, you remember in the Blues Brothers when Jake sees the light? That's Dabo seeing the portal this offseason.
Does he?
I don't think does he fire anybody? Maybe, maybe not, but I think he just realizes, hey, it's me. I'm the issue here. I've got to start.
Is he going to say that though?
He's not going to say it, but he's going to say it.
Because didn't they just hire, is it Tom Allen as the DC? Mm-hmm. So he's a fresh DC. That probably is the answer, Philip, is the portal. He just goes and attacks the portal. He's going to hate it, but he's going to have to do it to keep his job.
He could promote Mike Houston to co-D coordinator.
It could happen.
That was said.
That was said. All right, there's our college picks.
You didn't pick the game.
Oh, Clemson. I'm just going to go with the home team here. Florida State has not looked good since beating Bama, really. I did want to give Bobby a chance before we get a break in. Actually, let's save it. We'll save it for the end of the show. We'll run through NFL picks. I want to have you not take the floor, but talk about some guys going to the Hall of Fame this weekend.
Yeah,
before
for sure.
we wrap up today. So let's get a break in. We'll come back. We'll make NFL picks. We'll hear from Bobby, his thoughts on Cardi, Shane Carden, Justin Hardy, and the rest of the crew going to the Hall of Fame. This is Hoist the Colors.
Hurry to Greenville Toyota for model year-end savings on a Camry. Just $229 a month. $229 a month. Or new RAV4, $279 a month. $279 a month. Only during our model year-end move-out. Right now at Greenville Toyota.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville, we've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
It's Greenville Toyota's model year-end move-out. Save on a new Corolla, just $149 a month. $149 a month. Or new Tacoma, $249 a month. $249 a month. Now get a move on and save
Loyal
at
and
Greenville
gold
Toyota.
with purple and gold.
Yo ho ho!
And we're back to Hoist the Colors with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Same weekend for ECU football, as we'll have the Charlotte game, obviously, but Shane Carden, Justin Hardy, Dwayne Harris going to the Hall of Fame. Before we make our NFL picks, Bobby, I'll let you speak for a few minutes on these three gentlemen. I know you were on staff when all three played, at least for part of their career. I know you know Shane and Justin, obviously, but three of the best going in together, man. Pretty special weekend.
Yeah, what a cool era of Pirate football being remembered this weekend. I think it's just awesome. It's first off, three terrific human beings. Like that's what's cool. As talented and skilled as they were, all of them were really under recruited and kind of exceeded expectations pretty drastically when they got here. You look at, Dwayne was a high school quarterback, became a gadget player, and then just became a dude here. I mean, he's, to me, probably one of the best all-around football player that we've had in this program. And then you got Shane coming from Texas as an under-recruited quarterback. Then Justin, obviously, as a walk-on, but just really down-to-earth people. I mean, shoot, Dwayne is probably the one I know that knew the least. I was a lot closer with his brother Derek. But, I mean, I just sat in the locker room talking about the Atlanta Braves with Dwayne Harris. And Justin Hardy, for example, my sister was a huge Justin Hardy fan. It was cool. She texted me today. She obviously followed us closely when I was on staff, and she was like, it was so cool seeing that video that ECU just released because that era of football is what made her fall in love with the sport. And she's an avid football fan now. But Justin called her on her birthday to wish her happy birthday. Just kind of speaks to the type of human being he is. And then Shane, yeah, is just another stand-up guy, just cerebrally. I mean, he was just a gamer. Didn't have the strongest arm, but he just made all the right plays. He was such a terrific leader in getting guys balled in. So just really, really proud of those guys, really excited for them. And it's just cool that Brittany and I, my wife, were talking about it last night. One, getting to see guys that you watch play get inducted into Hall of Fame is really cool and it's kind of makes you feel old getting to that age. But at the same time, the fact that, because we met, she was on staff in a recruiting role, the fact that we got to have relationships with those guys and they're terrific people, I think it makes it even cooler.
So is your sister going to pull for the Pirates?
She's not. Yeah, thank you. And Philip is referencing my sister is a Charlotte grad, so she wanted to pave her own way, didn't want to come to ECU, which I can't blame her there. But, yeah, she's pulling for the 49ers this weekend.
This might be the weekend to switch, Bobby's sister, but,
Well,
hey.
She's a Titans fan, too, so she lives in Nashville. It's been a brutal football season for her.
Well, awesome stuff there. Yeah, all three of those guys, just tremendous football players, and it'll be a special weekend inside Daddy Ficklin. All right, let's make our NFL picks before we run out of time. Saints at Panthers. We all got Raiders right, by the way, last night. Broncos win, Raiders cover. Saints at Panthers. Panthers are 5.5-point favorites. Philip, how you feeling about your Panthers here?
I was doing my picks for my pick'em pool yesterday, and I was realizing that there are probably people this week actually picking the Panthers in a suicide pool. Because most suicide pools, you can only use the team once, and this might be the time to use the Panthers. When the hell's the last time we said that? And the reason why people were picking them, because they're going to win this thing by 10 points, baby. Give me 28-17 Carolina.
I just don't know if I can trust the Panthers to cover 5.5, but is it Tyler Shuck who's starting for the Saints?
Yep.
I mean, they looked terrible last week. Give me the Panthers here to cover 5.5.
So my survivor pool, I still have the Bills and the Lions available, and I'm using the Bills this weekend just for reference there. But to this Panthers game, I want to say the Panthers. I just need to see more to trust them. I think they win this game, but every game they've won has been close. Even the last few years, it's been like a game-winning field goal or that sort of thing. I don't know if it's necessarily comes down to that, but give me the Saints to cover.
Patriots are at the Buccaneers. Buccaneers by 2.5 is the line. I think this is the game the Patriots drop. Look, they've been playing great, but they have not really been tested in several weeks. And I think Tampa here is just a better football team. Give me Tampa Bay at home.
Yeah, it's time for the Patriots to trip up a little bit. They're on a win streak. The opponents have been terrible to this point in time. Give me the Bucks. I think the Bucks actually win by 2 scores.
New England's a good football team. They're not a great football team. Tampa Bay is. Tampa Bay's at home. Taking Baker Mayfield.
The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites going to the Vikings. I put this on the sheet for Dom. Also, it's kind of an intriguing game. Dom said he would listen, so I have to put the Vikings up here. You got J.J. McCarthy, who just played well. They won at the Lions. The Ravens are still the favorite, I think, to win the AFC North, despite the record, because Lamar Jackson's back. Ravens 3.5. I think I'm going to go with the Ravens here. I think they're just a better team, and I'll take them to cover 3.5 on the road.
I'm going Ravens as well. Ravens are back. Ravens are winning the AFC North. Give me the Birds.
Yeah, they're going to even have that much more momentum just with some of the slip-ups going on around their division. Obviously, Pittsburgh did get a good win, but Pittsburgh's got a tough one this week. We're going to pick that one here in a little bit. But, yeah, I think Baltimore's ready to roll, baby.
The Lions are at the Commanders. Bobby's Commanders coming off just a horrific primetime performance. Everybody gets hurt. Now they host the Lions, who are also coming off a disappointing loss to the Vikings. 7.5 is the line. Detroit going to Washington. Bobby, how you feeling?
The Commanders have lost 3 games in a row by 20-plus points. Going to make it 4. This team is the definition of cheeks right now. We are terrible. We are fluttering. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I'm going Lions here. I mean, is there a scenario where Commanders muck it up and keep it close and only lose by a touchdown? Maybe, but I think the safer play is Lions 7.5.
Feeling good about my fantasy this week, and that's because I got Jared Goff starting at quarterback. I started him over Bo Nix. Glad I did not have Nix.
Good pick.
Yeah, Thomas was trying to get me to start Bo Nix last time. Thomas, I'm not starting Bo Nix. I just think y'all's defense is so banged up, Bobby. I think he's going to shred you guys. Like I said, I don't think it's close at all.
That's the thing. The way to beat the Lions is to pressure Jared Goff because he can't freaking move. We can't get pressure because 3 of our best 4 pass rushers are out, and then Bobby Wagner uses a wheelchair on the field. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Steelers are at the Chargers. Final pick. This is Sunday Night Football, I believe. Yeah. Chargers are a 3-point favorite. I am expecting a ton of terrible towels inside the SoFi Stadium, I think is what it's called, as LA does not have a fan base. That said, I trust the Chargers more, which is a scary statement to say. Steelers coming off a big win. They looked good last week. I think they go across the country and they lose this game. So give me the Chargers, who are favored by 3 at home.
Yeah, the Steelers fans are going to use those terrible towels to wipe their tears away after the game. And here's my bonus pick for this one. We're going to have a viral Aaron Rodgers ticked-off moment where he's going off on one of his offensive players because the defense for the Chargers is going to give him fits.
Yeah, I wasn't high on Pittsburgh to start the year. I've retracted my statement, said they're still a pretty good football team. But you're going to hate me for saying this, Steven. I think the Chargers are the best team in the AFC West. I really do.
They might be the best team, but the Broncos have the best defense.
That is true. But with that being said, I do think the Chargers cover this. I think it's a 1-score game, but I think this is a win by 4, win by 7 kind of deal for the Chargers.
Chargers is our. I feel like we got a lot of picks here that we're following each other in the NFL, which is scary to think about. Again, final shout out to SupDogs for their support of the program today, and Bobby Harwood, as they did a great job. Jansen Kidd with a bonus pick says Jags -1.5 on the road versus Houston without Stroud. Give me the Jags to cover. Welcome to Duval, Jacoby Myers. Y'all think Jags cover on the road?
No, Houston bounces back.
I don't think Stroud's playing, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm going.
Stroud's not playing?
No, I'm going Jacksonville.
Okay, yeah. Again,
doesn't matter.
Jacksonville looked
Houston can't score either way.
Yeah, Jacksonville, I think they didn't play terrible last week. I think the Raiders just played better, but still, I just think Jacksonville got scared last week. It was closer than it should have been. I think they go out there and make a statement this week.
Maybe the Raiders are just competent. Almost beat the Jags, almost beat the Broncos.
I don't know. Thursday night's wonky. I think they got lucky. Yeah.
I will say, I like when my teams lose or win in ugly fashion because I feel like that just leads you to play better the next week instead of just riding too high after a win. That said, 30 seconds left, guys. Any bold predictions for tomorrow? Pirates, Niners. I'm putting you all on the spot. Anybody want to throw out something crazy?
Punt return for a touchdown. Let's go.
All right, that was too crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, you go for it, Philip.
Chaston did 2 passing touchdowns.
2. I was watching highlights of Justin Hardy posted by ECU. He was like 2 times tripped up about to taking a punt touchdown. Hasn't happened since 2004. Caden Hauser, 5 touchdown passes. That is my bold prediction.
So we're not running the ball because we got 7 passing touchdowns right here between our 2.
That's a lot.
Oh, I mean, I said we'd score 56. We'll run one in.
We're out of time. Everybody enjoy Homecoming, Hall of Fame weekend, letter winners weekend. It's good to have so many people back. Thanks for listening to the show. We'll see you Monday, 12 noon.